this race has one of my bets of the meeting in it.
Peter Fahey was chopping it off.
I like to move it.
Matty, you look very far away.
This horse is 50-1. All aboard Santini. Come on, hater of Santini.
Good evening and welcome to our final preview of the week. Day 4 of the Cheltenham Festival from the Cheltenham Exchange with Ian, Matty, John, and our, I was going to say resident guest, but that doesn't make any sense, and our guest, Alex Galpin, who's a resident of Cheltenham. There we go. Got it right way around. Okay, so hope you're all enjoying, and we'll move swiftly on to day 4. And kick off straight away with the Triumph Hurdle. And we'll go to Matty.
Yeah, it's not a race. I've had an actual single in. I've got Phil Dore in a multiple, so if it comes down to wanting to win, I think he could have a chance of reversing the form with Vauban at Cheltenham with the stiffer track. But for me, I said it on the Dave's last week, I'm going to stick with him. I think Vauban wins this.
Vauban for Matty.
That's quick.
Okay, John?
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm not changing either, OJ, to be honest. I respect the top two in the market. They've both put in some really good performances. Piper winning on the Billy Idol over at Cheltenham a few months ago. Then you had Vauban at the Dublin Racing Festival, very good as well, very good performances. I still think Phil Dore's a little bit overlooked in the market. He's still an each-way play, but I've followed him all season. I'm hoping that the track and the extra furlong will suit his, play to his strengths. So I'm going to stick with Phil Dore. It'll just be interesting to see who Davey picks, really, as well. Because they say they still like Phil Dore, apparently, back in the yard. So if he went for Phil Dore, then I would think that was a good pointer. But we'll see on the day anyway which one he goes. Well, on declarations, who he goes for.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Declarations day could be key.
Vital.
Okay, Alex?
I really like Milton Harris's Night Salute. I think he's just like the forgotten horse in the market. He's won all 5 of his starts over hurdles. He never does anything particularly flashy. His wins are always by, I don't know, a length, half a length, 2 lengths maximum. And, I mean, they keep stepping him up and running him against better horses, and he just keeps winning. He was really good when he ran at Cheltenham earlier in the year. He beat Saint-Riquier and Yorksea. Yorksea's gone on and won since. That was in 3rd. I don't know. I just don't really get why he's 12-1. I think if it's one of those ones where if he was trained by, I don't know, Henderson or Nichols or someone that's not Milton Harris, I think he'd be a much shorter price. I mean, he beat Porticello, who's obviously gone on and won very impressively at Haydock. I don't know. I think he's a really solid bet.
It's nice when you get those little nuggets where, they're maybe from a yard that's, I don't know, how do you say, not that it's
not like
not
one of the
so
top
respected,
like 2 or 3,
but yeah, it's not that it's not a respected yard.
I didn't want him to win the Adonis. I wanted him to lose that and go the Boodles, and I'd have been very keen on it.
Okay. Okay, so there could be, a bit of value there. Rain Man, come on.
Right, so I backed Phil Dore end of last year after his first couple of impressive wins at 11-1, so I'm quite happy with that each way price. But obviously, Vauban beat Phil Dore at the Dublin Racing Festival. A good race. So I'm happy I've got Phil Dore covered, but the one I'm going to back to win is Pied Piper. I'm going to stick with Pied Piper. Ultra impressive at Cheltenham. David didn't move a muscle that day. And again, this Pied Piper's beaten Vauban at Punchestown. I believe it was on New Year's Eve. So that piece of form helps Pied Piper. But I'm glad I've got the two covered. And it's quite interesting what John said about who would pick who. I think that Davey might choose Pied Piper and then he'll leave Jack to go on Field Door. But that's just my opinion. But I'm glad I've got the two covered. But I think Pied Piper will just do it.
Okay. So Pied Piper for you. At this point, it's probably wise of me to point out that the only selection I've posted on our Twitter, Pleasant Man, was
Still running.
the left centre better. Yeah, so I'll stick to the presenting. Yeah, the left centre better. I apologise for that one. If anybody did try and follow me, I apologise profusely, profoundly, or whatever the hell the word is. Sorry, Matty, what was that one, mate?
The only other one is Ante-Post.
Yes.
Behind Vauban. And he's about 5 lengths behind Vauban at the Dublin Racing Festival on his first run for Willie Mullins. He could go well. On about 12 to 1, I think.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Matty. Good shout. I forgot about that.
Ventures.
Very impressive at Dublin Racing Festival. First run. Very good run.
Well, he ran horse on colours first time last year when he went third, didn't he? He's got a run into this one, so you don't know whether there's going to be any improvement to come.
What was the other one? Tax for Max. I can't remember if that was. I didn't place it. I think that was there or thereabouts. I think that had a similar sort of one run and straight to the trial.
I just think the Irish juveniles just leagues above ours.
No, yeah, definitely.
Down ahead.
Hence why I wanted Night Salute to go in the Boodle, not here.
Okay, great stuff. So, Phil Dawes fancied by John, partially by Matty, along with Vauban. Pied Piper for Ian, also liking Phil Dawes.
Yeah.
And Alex is quite sweet on Night Salute. Would that be about right?
Sounds good.
Great stuff. So we move on to handicap territory again, and the county hurdle. 2 mile race, is it? Just over 2 mile, I think.
Yeah.
Belfast Banter last year. I did make a note actually about because I see to is that Peter Fay? Was it Peter Fay?
I think you might be right.
I'm pretty sure it's Peter Fay, and I'm pretty sure it was quite a gamble at the time. But I have made a note that Belfast Banter was rated 130, and in the 9 previous run-ins, I don't know how far beyond that, but in the 9 previous run-ins, nothing below 140 had won it. Again, John, as you mentioned before, it could have been the COVID effect and what type of horses you've got coming over, but there was a significant step down in the rating of the winner on that occasion.
It's definitely not as many ran last year. I think they say that a lot of people that go to Cheltenham and some of the owners, they purely want to see the horse run.
Yeah,
it wasn't there.
It's pretty significant in that race. The difference in official ratings. I know they don't mean that they're not the be all and end all, but it was a significant drop, I guess.
Definitely.
Either that or Peter Fahey was chopping it off. Okay, so who we go into first for the county hurdle?
Do you want me to go?
Where you going?
Okay. Well, come down on two. So one is, I think, has been found in the market. Is classed degraded horse in the race is State Man for Willie Mullins. 141, 11 stone 1. Fed at Leopardstown in December, and then one come out and won in February at Limerick, won by 12 lengths. Very, very impressive. So there could be the Mullins one to go here. The other one I like is it's called I Like to Move It. Marker 142 has got 11.2 at the minute. Won at Cheltenham twice, and then bumped into John Bon at Ascot in December. But then went on to the Betfair Hurdle and lost a short head by Glory and Fortune. So I think that's quite good form. So there'll be my two. State Man I'll probably have to do to win because of the price. I like to move it. I might do each way if it's over 10 to 1 or so. But there'll be my two.
Great stuff, Ian. I don't think you can select I Like to Move It without giving us a little rendition of the old 90s classic. Come on, give us a bit of deep voice.
I like to move it.
Right. Yeah, that was shite. Okay. John, I think you were a State Man, but I believe you found a little nugget for us, possibly.
Yeah, well, I keep flitting between the two, but like Ian said, State Man's been found in the market now, and he is very short, but there is every chance he could do what Galpin did in the Martin Pike last year and be the graded horse in the handicap. You know, off 141, that could be thrown in, it really could, but I'll go with price, and my other selection is My Mate Mozzie. Now, he was on 141, and the handicap has given him 5 to take him up to 146, so he will be quite high in the weight. But I think last time he was given a bit of a strange ride behind Sir Gerhard. He ditched his normal front running tactics and just sort of hung around at the back of the pack, really. Finished 4th in the end and was just never put in the race. And then immediately after that, they asked for a handicap mark from the Irish handicapper to see what he'd get. Now, it just got me thinking that maybe that's what they were looking. They looked at the Supreme and the Ballymore, thought they were far too competitive, thought if they can keep his mark down and have a crack at this. So I'm going to put him in. I think he's still about 14 to 1. So I still think he's quite a good price, really, because he also could be a graded horse in a handicap. He probably is. So, yeah, between the two, but I'll go for Mozzie on the price.
Pretty interesting angle. I like that one, I've got to be honest. I like what you're saying there. And a shrewd trainer as well.
Yeah, very.
Matty, you look very far away from the screen. I'm not sure.
I was just sat back chilling.
It's like that scene from what was the Peter Kay thing? Anyway, yeah. Get closer to the screen and give us your thoughts, Matty.
I was just having a bit of a gander through. I mean, I know I've sent you Echoes in Rain if she runs here. I mean, she could go the Mares Hurdle. Party Central, I'd mentioned earlier, was one I was keen going here, but I think she's going the Mares Novice. One that caught my eye previously was a Claire de Beaufort. Each way around 25 to 1. Finished 4th in it last year, beaten 2.5 lengths by Belfast Panther off 139. We'll go off 136 here this year, so could have a nice each way play. And as you know, like I like to do all the time when I've had a beer, I have a little scroll through everything else. Ballyadam, 33 to 1. If you go back to when he ran, I know he won the Royal Bond last year, but when he ran in the Chanel Farmer behind Appreciate It at Leopardstown, he only finished 3 1/4 lengths behind Appreciate It, who's going to be contesting the Champion Hurdle this season. When he ran in the Supreme, and he was beating 24 lengths behind Appreciate It when he made a mistake, was it 2 or 3 out? He was off 148. He's going to be running off 144 in this, and I think at 33 to 1, he could be worth a little play each way.
Okay.
Claire de Beaufort will be my main bet in this.
Okay, that's nice. Alex.
I think this race has one of my bets of the meeting in it.
We should have come to you first.
Huh?
Load up the accounts.
I love West Cork. His he won that Greatwood Hurdle, which I said has got so much good form coming out of it.
You've talked about it a lot tonight.
Sorry?
You've talked about it a lot tonight.
I have, yeah. It's just worked out really well. So he won the Greatwood Hurdle, and if you watch the race back on the running, Harry Skelton actually drops his whip, and I think if anything that might have actually helped him for this, because I think he would have won by a lot further if he hadn't. After that race, he then went to Ascot. Well, sorry, that race when he won the Greatwood, that was his first run for nearly 2 years. So first run for nearly 2 years, straight in a really hot handicap, hacks up basically. Next time goes to Ascot. He ends up getting an overreach, quite a bad overreach, Skelton said. And then they've put him away straight away for this. So this has been a target since then. He's going to go there fresh. We know he runs well fresh because he won first time out. I think he could be really well handicapped. And as I say, I think he's one of my bets in the meeting.
That's pretty positive.
I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm quite positive about him.
That's going in the exact
positive.
That's pretty positive. West Cork, folks. Get on. Okay. Anybody else with anything else to chuck in there before we move on?
Nope. All good.
No, so we're quite happy with that. So quick recap. West Cork, obviously, very strong for Alex, I would say there. One of the bets of the meeting.
For me, yeah.
Great stuff. John, State Man.
No, my mate Mozzie.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you changed. Sorry. Ian, State Man. John was keen on State Man. I moved on to my mate Mozzie. And you're actually very keen on my mate Mozzie as well now, aren't you?
Yeah.
And Matty, we are on.
I'm going to go for a Claire de Beaufort at 25 to 1.
Nice. So some pretty good value in the selections there. Okay, so we'll move on to the Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle. I know Matty's had a very strong fancy for this for a long time. So I think it'd only be fair for him to kick off here.
Yeah, as you know, I'm a big fan of Hollow Games. He's not run great the last 2 times, but I think he's crying out for the trip. I don't mind him not winning the Nathaniel Races at Dublin Racing Festival, because the winner of that race generally doesn't do well in the Albert Bartlett after that. I don't think it's won. I'm glad they've come out and said Ginto's going the Ballymore now, because then it means Hollow Games will probably come here instead of they were talking. There was whispers of them going to the Martin Fight, wasn't it, on 143. I still think he'll run well. I think he could place. And the other one I like in it, and I know the lads are keen on it as well, as we all got on at 50 to 1 after he ran at Cheltenham and won, was Bardenstown Lad. Looks tailor-made for the race. You know he finds off the bridle, so when it needs to get stuck in, if he's there at the last, I think he'll stay all day up the hill. So for me, it's Bardenstown Lad and Hollow Games.
Okay, great stuff. Alex?
Quite boring, really. I like the favourite Hillcrest. Has run some really good races this season, running over 2.5 miles, including winning at Cheltenham on New Year's Day. Then stepped up at Haydock in heavy ground, bottomless ground in February, ran over 3 miles, and well, cantered home. Looked like he really appreciated the step up in trip. So I think he could be a really good thing, and I think he's the type that he's a really big horse as well. I think he's the type that could go on next year to be like an RSA type horse. We'll probably look back on this next year, and we'll probably all think I'm mad. Probably nowhere near, but that's what he looks like to me. He looks like a big chaser for next year as well. Looks like a really exciting horse.
Okay, that's interesting. Great stuff. John?
Well, I've already backed Hillcrest for the Browns already for next year. So yeah, I think he'll make a better chaser than a hurdler, definitely. So I agree with Alex on that. I'm pretty much the same. I'm pretty much the same as Matty on this. We've both backed Hollow Games from the start. He has been a little bit disappointed. I'm just hoping that this track suits and a decent pace to run at. You know, he might run his race, and we've got him at a big price. So if he gets a place, I'll be quite happy. But my want to pick is Barnstown Lad. He just looks like the type of horse for this race. Finds off the bridle. There's one on the course. You know, he'll be under the pump 4 or 5 out probably, and 4 or 5 furlongs out, and you'll probably think he's got no chance. But he does fine for pressure, and I think you need that in this race. So I'm going to stick with Barnstown Lad.
Fairness, John, he could be under the pump with a circuit to go, but you know he just keeps finding it. So.
Yeah, that's how he's ridden, isn't it? He races behind the bridle, as they say, doesn't he?
He's an old-fashioned Albert Bartlett type, isn't he? Not the more classier that we've had in the recent.
Not the flashy types, yeah. I think Hillcrest is probably a bit like that as well. So it might be a good battle between the two.
I wish I raced behind the bridle. Remember Matty Luke on the old football pitch? He was a bit of an old slugger as well. Gave me a hard time now and then, did you, Matty?
Every now and again, Mr. Davis.
Okay.
Like one I can't take to is this Manila Corona. I just think John pointed out last time. Who was it, John, that you were liking him to?
He's Fakira in disguise, isn't he?
Just every trip he runs over just seems to be staying on
from a mile back. Never,
not.
Are we talking game face territory here?
Yeah, so.
Always got pace.
Oh,
no, not that bad.
Right. No, he is a yak.
Okay, Mr. Rayner, your thoughts, please, sir.
I haven't got much to add. So these guys have said it for me. I echo. So we all backed Hollow Games around 33 to 1. Again, one of my earliest bets of the season. So it's a shame he's been beaten twice since he's won now in October. I believe that was over 2 miles, but you can see he's absolutely crying out for 3 miles. This opinion, he may go to the Martin Piper. Trip be too short for me. And Barnstown Lad. So I still remember he won at Cheltenham in October. We looked at the price; it was 50 to 1 still, just as it's won. And the three of us here were frantically trying to get those 50 to 1 bets in, and we did. But I think the price has crashed since then. But it's still a massive price. I think it's about 12 to 1 somewhere. It's come out and won a 11 length win at Musselburgh since then. But so echo what the guys have said. I'll be happy with either one, but I'll be looking for Barnstown Lad to win.
Great stuff. So I think hopefully that's
going to give a nod to one at a price, OJ.
Oh yeah.
And it depends if he runs and if he can get extra places on the day. Ollie Griffin Cottage. I think it's Dan Skelton. Finished 6 lengths behind Blazing Car back in December at Cheltenham. Blazing Car was obviously going to be one of the favourites for this race until he picked up the injury that ruled him out for the season. And I know Harry Skelton was giving an interview the other day, and he said this was one that he picked out at a price that could run really well, like at the odds. So
Okay.
just keep an eye on him.
Ballycriven Cottage. Just looking now. Oh yeah, 22-1 on 365. Okay, so we've got a couple there that are pretty strong. Bad and Sound Lad, and Alex is very keen on Hillcrest, and John, I think you were keen on Hillcrest as well as Bad and Sound Lad.
Yeah. I'll take Bardenstown to beat him by a short head.
Good man.
Not sure whether you lads are interested. Obviously, just looking at the Sky Bet only playing 3 places. I know, John, we don't like Manila Crooner, do we? Then you've got Tinto who's going the Ballymore, Journey with me going the Ballymore, Hillcrest will come in. He's 6-4 to finish in the top 3. You've got Bardenstown Lad at 5-2 to finish in the top 3 on Sky Bet. He could be one for a place hacker.
Worth a
Yeah,
lump.
or they all drop out.
Yeah.
That could be one to go with Corach Rambler.
And Zana
Yeah.
here. Place treble.
The Rambler.
Rambler. Chop it off. Okay. Right. We happy with the Albert Bartlett sorted there then?
Yeah.
And we're moving on to the Gold Cup.
Ooh.
Oof. Jonathan Evans, we're going to have to kick off with you, mate.
For fear of repeating myself, this was all about Galvin for me. Yeah, he's just got the right profile. He's got the course win. He'll have Davey in the saddle. The extra 2 furlongs will suit. He's beaten a few of the other opponents in this race already this season. He's, obviously I've been on him at a large price at the end of the season, but he's just improved all the way through the year. And I still think he gets knocked in certain quarters, and there's nothing to knock him with, really. I just think he's rock solid. And if he, I'll be very surprised if he's not in the first 3. Hopefully he's got enough to win. Going through the others, I still like Alboon Photo, still a big fan. Hopefully he can run a big race. Hopefully he can get in the places. The Indo, he seems to have come on a little bit for his runs this season, but it's going to be a tough task to win it again. I know Alboon Photo did, but I don't know if Indo's shown enough this year to do it like again. A Plutard, I just can't have at all. That stat that I keep mentioning, I think it's once in the last 85 years where the horse that's been beaten in the Gold Cup has come back and won it, which was Native River. So when you're going through the list, him and the likes of Royal Pagaia, the first I cross out, because it just doesn't happen. So, yes, Galvin for me, as you know, OJ.
Yeah, I think, I've been in your camp last couple of years with Alboon Photo and love the horse, absolutely love the horse, but I can't, I don't know, I think without being too harsh, maybe the races that he did win weren't.
Classics.
Galvin looks fresher and new kid on the block here, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's got a good profile for it. And, I can't see him.
Great stuff. Ian.
Right, I'll do my 2 picks, and I found a gem for your OJ. I found a little gem. I found a gem.
Late for gems.
I cannot wait
Your
for
gem's
this.
a pig.
So, first of all, we'll mention Galvin. Now, I can't take credits for this. John gave me Galvin, who's again one of my early bets at 50-1, even before it ran. And we originally thought he was going to go to the Grand National. And then it was afterwards when there was talk of it maybe changing route and going to the Gold Cups at 50-1. Is I owe John a box of beer. I think I did Matty last year after he put me on.
You only owe him if he wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to stick after. I backed a Plutard for the Gold Cup after its impressive win at Haydock. Unfortunately, since then has lost a short head to Galvin at the Salvage Chase, but I'm just hoping that John's not put the mockers on it with that stat he just said. But I don't know. I still think he has a good chance. Manila Indo is there or thereabouts, and I think there's the odd one or two that are there, and a lot of them have all come back since. But I think Aplutard will do it for me. But I need something first before I tell you this gem. Right, get ready. So here we go.
Oh, the fucking boat! He's a pig.
But I need my phone for this because I'm going to read out his Cheltenham record. Ready? First, third, second, first, second, pulled up, fourth, second. This horse is 50-1. Old favourite of mine. Used to be Henderson, new trainer. Santini. All aboard Santini. Come on, hater of Santini.
I know the one.
Come on.
Yeah, I take it.
What
You're
a
backing
gem.
him 8-1 to
50
finish
to
in
1.
the top 3. Then
So that again, Matty. Sorry.
I take it you're going to back him 8-1 to finish in the top 3.
Oh hell yeah!
I know that you've backed him for the last 43 years in the and I'm really chuffed. Being a Tottenham fan, I'm extra chuffed that Jacques Santini was an ex-Tottenham manager, and so I know that your love for West Ham and your hatred for Tottenham, you've laid that aside. So it's a big sacrifice for you to make to go with Santini.
How about?
But I got to be honest with you, you haven't got a hope in fucking hell.
Still worth it. I still have to. It's dear to my heart, Santini.
How much did
If I do a
that
pound each way.
hat cost you, Ian?
£5.
Yeah.
Probably will never wear it ever again.
How about an each way double HMS Seahorse and HMS Santini?
Oh, what a shout!
There you go, sorted.
I can tell that Gordon Elliott's thinking, I want to leave this video call right now.
Who's this Pratt? Who's this Pratt with a hat? No. I'm going to leave it on now.
I must say, though, the hat suits you. Lauren?
Hello, Taylor.
Alex, ignore that idiot. What are your thoughts?
I just can't make any sense of this race either. I don't think Aplutard really stays 3 miles. I think he should be in the Ryanair. Galvin, I know he's obviously looked very good this season, but he got beaten by Frodon, and his first win he beat Animix by half a length. I don't know. I think he'll place. I just don't know. I just don't know if he's good enough to win a Gold Cup. I don't know. I think I'll probably side with an each way bet on Album Photo. He's only 10. He's not like he's 11 or 12. He can still go well. Mullin said he wasn't quite right last year. He still finished third. It wouldn't surprise me if he. I think he'll place, but it wouldn't surprise me if he wins.
I'm with you on that one, Al. Album Photos, my nap for the last 3 years.
You're nap again this year?
Love him. Well, no, he's not now, but only because I haven't got a clue. No, but I do. I think written off too easily. I know the old Native River stat, but I'd be.
I think that stat only applies to horses that have not won it before. That's so because obviously Corto won it, then didn't win, then won it after. Like it's been done before. That Native River stat was if they'd never won the Gold Cup, they'd never won in the next.
It's
season.
if they're beaten first time when they've raced in the Gold Cup. It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I do like Album.
Won and he won again.
Then he thought he'd let someone else win for a year, Johnny. Then he'll win again this year.
Yeah. If he wins, I'll be happy as anyone because I do love him as well. But I still think Galvin's fresher legs will do this.
Okay. Well, I'm taking the hint from Matty with the big yawn then that He's dying to give us his selection. Go on, Matty. Champ, innit?
No. I try not to back pigs. I'm obviously John gave us Galvin at 40-1. I chose not to back it, thinking he'd be potted down the Grand National route. He's got a solid chance in this. We know he stays. He won the National Hunt Chase last year. If he's banging contention at the back of the last, Davy Russell's going to get stuck in all the way up the hill. I'm a good John. Can't have athletes hard. I'm not giving up hope on Manella Indo. I know Puppy Power rode him last time out in view that he will ride him at the festival. However, Henry did admit that if Jack was available, then they'd be thinking of putting him on. Davy's going to be on Galvin. Conflated, I think Elliot said that O'Leary's wanting to go the Ryanair. Delta Work obviously going across country. Mount Ida's going to the Mayor's Chase. Jack could be available to ride Manella Indo. I think he ran a good race behind Conflated last time out. He comes alive at Cheltenham. He obviously won the Albert Bartlett, finished second in the RSA, and then won the Gold Cup. Albion Photo, you'd love him to place, wouldn't you? Chantry House, can't have him. Just dislike the horse, something wrong. Royal Pagaya would need it to come up soft and heavy. And then you get him right down the list then towards that boat, Santini, aren't you? Yeah, for me, I'd be looking at playing Manella Indo to win. Purely on, I'm not giving up on him and Jack could be on board. And on the day, if you can still get anywhere near around 50-1 for Mellon, if you can get extra places, then it goes, he fits the unexposed type running in the Gold Cup. And he always runs a solid race. And I think you'd have to give him a chance off his run behind Galvin and Athlete's Hard in the Savills when he finished 5 lengths behind them. So I think if you can get extra places on Mellon on the day, and if he runs here, I'm not sure he will. That's why I'll wait till the day. If he's declared and he runs, I'll be looking to have a place bet on Mellon as well.
You think that probably if they're going to run him anyway, he's going to take a punt, won't they? He's getting on a bit now, maybe.
Never run in it, has he, before? And he ran well in the Savills behind them. So I'd be tempted to give him a go. But I'm just a punter. I'm not really winning. But no,
Alex,
Manella Indo for me.
You need your input on the weather, because if it comes up heavy, Royal Pagay, honestly, I keep thinking about Royal
I think
Pagay.
it's got no chance of being heavy.
No?
No, I mean,
Snow, Alex.
the course is drying out now. Turf Tracks posted a going report on Monday, but when you actually opened up the going report, it was actually done on Saturday, and then it was soft most places, and it was good for soft in places. It's barely rained since then. I've walked around the course, like not on the course itself, but around sort of the edge of it, and it's drying up. I think there's about 10 mil of rain forecast between now and Tuesday. I'll be shocked if we're on anything worse than good to soft.
Great stuff. That's pretty handy to know, I think. Would have thought.
No snow then, Alex, no?
No snow.
No, ridiculous.
You never know. I could wake up tomorrow and it could be hammering it down. Like, they don't always get the forecast right, do they? So, but yeah, I think we're going to be on a good to soft festival.
That's true. But if we have a quick look on the screen, I would have said that Ian looks like he might have been on the snow.
Got me boat ready.
Just looking at it, lads. What do we actually think is going to make the running in the Gold Cup?
I ride for about a lap.
He's not going to last much.
No, he won't
last.
That's the problem. He'll just get bypassed. He'll be rowing away after a mile.
I saw one of the preview nights. Someone said that Santini could make the running, but the slowest run Gold Cup in years.
He needs to start now.
He'll like running 2 nationals with that fucker running it.
So something will be really keen and go off like the clappers winning.
Do any of you give Protector a chance?
No, I've backed that horse a lot of times.
It's like, I know, like the unexposed thing and
Yeah,
winning
Just,
in the Gold
it's,
Cup.
it's not quite. It's not quite got the class.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Waiting patiently, then waiting patiently, hammer it a few times. Like,
Crikey.
I just genuinely don't know what's actually going to go and take them along at a decent clip. It could be.
that's why I come back to Albion Photo. Honest to God, I don't think we should dismiss Albion Photo
Cup, yeah.
because I don't think there's anything.
I think you need something that's going to possibly have a turn of foot at the end, I think.
I think if it is a really silly run race, maybe something like Absolute could win, but that's the only thing I can see happening. No chance for Santini if it's slowly run.
Oh,
Would Conflated go from the front if he ran?
He ran quite prominently, didn't he? In
I'm thinking whether Elliot wants, because he said he needs to have a word with O'Leary. Is he thinking that to try and set it up as more of a stamina test for Galvin?
Hopefully.
Right, come on, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, come on.
Indo. Milano wins.
Best race now.
Woo, Ian.
a Plutard.
Alex, your pick.
Albion Photo.
Albion, good man, love it. Matty,
Indo, not losing faith. I think Jack Kennedy
Indo
will
to follow
ride
it
as well.
and John. We know what
Galvin.
John's on. Galvin, big time. Galvin
Big
for a big
time.
payday. Great stuff. Well done, lads. Love it. Okay, so we move on to the Foxhunters, the St. James Place Hunters. What is it? Yeah, I can't remember what it is. Yeah,
Hunters
Foxhunters Chase.
Can't call it that anymore. It's
Hunters Chase.
The Hunters Chase. Okay.
Drop the fox.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. So I'm having a look now. Who's not kicked off yet? Alex. You love the course, don't you?
Go on, Gordo.
I hate this race, and I don't. Sometimes I don't even have a bet in it. But what I will say is, a guy I know, he knows the local point-to-point scene really well. Goes to all the local ones, and he's given me one. He said it's a bit of a lunatic. It might refuse to race, but if it goes off, it's got a chance. And it's called Don Bursey. It's 66 to 1, so it's probably worth a go. Yeah, I mean, I'm entirely led by him. I don't like this race, but that's probably what I'll have a look at.
Don Bursey.
Don Bursey.
With
70s on the exchanges.
All aboard.
All aboard. Ian, give us the choo-choo.
If it does win, make sure you go to and you're at Cheltenham, go to the shop and say thanks to Keith. He works in the shop.
There we go.
Keith.
You cannot beat that. A bit of local info. Doesn't matter if it wins or not.
It might probably refuse to run, but you never know.
Like that. So Don Bursey. Okay. I can't. Ian.
Well, go to Matty first because he likes one I like.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
this is my main
on,
fancy.
Come on, Matty.
Vorstelet, 16 to 1 each way. Change trainers from Elizabeth Doyle to Mr. Christie in the March last year. Has won 4 times out of 5 for the trainer, and over 3 mile has only lost once over 3 miles. I think the last run on the 26th of December was a little bit of a just putting Bob on for this, keep him a little bit fresh, and I think he has a great chance. 16 to 1 each way, OJ. It's not a great race.
That's
pretty. He's the one I've landed on. But
pretty confident.
I would say I would say if he doesn't win, even if I have money on him, I'd love Bob and Co to go and win from Maxwell. I think all the lads are in agreement with that one. I think he'd be a very popular. He'd be a very popular winner at the festival as well.
Yeah. Okay. Great stuff. Well select for Matty. Ian, can we come to you now?
Okay.
Daft hat.
Because now he said it. No, I also like Vorselet. And funny enough, the two I like are both the same owner, both the same trainer. So it's Dave Christie. Unfortunately, Gavin Lynch took this horse and has taken the value off it, but it's Wing Leader. One, well, I say one. It was at a point to point. It was in a dead heat, and then went on to beat. Excuse me. Went on to beat Billaway by 12 lengths, who I still can't believe is the favourite at Furless in January. And then I looked for a bit of value, and say Matty's nailed it. Same about Vorselet, still a nice price. One is point to point by distance. There's one at Fairy House by 5 lengths. And I think it dropped down in trip and come third behind a horse called Dorking Cock, who, funny enough, was third in that point to point dead heat I was saying about with Wing Leader. So they all kind of tie in. So Wing Leader for me to win, but I'll definitely do maybe the reverse on the day. I'll do Vorselet each way. So yeah, perfect. It depends who Barry O'Neill will ride. I think probably Wing Leader, but I'll be backing both. But Wing Leader for me to win.
Great stuff. John?
Yeah, I'm like Alex, really. I'm not a fan of this race much. Don't normally get the winner apart from last year when I had Porlock Bay, which was good. He would have been the choice again this year, but he's not running. I think he's being saved for Aintree now. Then my other choice was a horse that is like the Okie Kokie. It was in, it was out, it's in again, which is Highway Jewel. Now, it was out this time last week, so I put up another horse on Dave's podcast, but apparently it's still in the, well, she's been entered now. She's had 2 runs under rules so far, and that includes a win in last year's Hunter Chase meeting in April on the new course as well, where she beat Fishy Story by 5.5 lengths. So obviously takes to the track. She must like it round here. So my other choice that I had put up was Premier Magic. But I'm going to go with Highway Jewel now. I'm going to sell on Highway Jewel because that was my initial choice before she wasn't running. Then she was. So yeah, Highway Jewel for me.
Great stuff. So Highway Jewel for John, Vorselet for Matty, Ian also keen on Vorselet, but plumping for
Wing Leader.
And Alex.
Don Percy.
I've literally just checked the formula, Alex. He literally wins or refuses to race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that today in the group, yeah.
So you ain't back in that each way. You go and win only on that one.
Back in running. If he goes off, back in back.
Yeah,
great shout, Johnny.
Great stuff. Okay, boys. We moved on to the Mayor's Chase. And who hasn't been first for a long time? I'm giving up trying to keep track of results. But Batty, I'm sure you haven't been first for a long time.
Pretty sure he went to me first last race, mate, to be honest. Right?
Did I? Alex?
I went first in the Gold Cup.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we're all good.
Go on then, Jay, I won't be long anyway.
John,
it's
John
not really a race.
Actually, to be fair, John, you are an expert on mares, so we should let John go first.
Well, we'll see by the end of next week. Not a race that I've got into yet. I suppose it's only the second running, isn't it? And the trainers don't seem to be that interested either at the moment, with the severe lack of entries in it at this stage. I can't really have the top 2 at all. Concertista, yeah, she's okay, but she's not really blown me away. Ellie May, I think, I'm not convinced how good she is under pressure in a tight finish. She's been out battled before now, so I'd sort of put a line through her. The one I'm going to go for is Mount Ida, who has already beaten Ellie May this year, giving her £3. And I really can't see them, her reversing that form, to be honest. So the Glancing Queen would be an option if she came here rather than the Handicap. But for definite, she's running is Mount Ida. I actually think that she should go to the Gold Cup and give that a stab, but maybe she will next year. So maybe one to keep on side next time. But yeah, Mount Ida for me.
She's got course form, hasn't she?
Course form with the Kim Muir win last year after a very strange race, but mad race.
Great stuff. Mount Ida for John then. Okay. I'm a bit scared. So who'd you go to now?
I'll go next, mate.
Go on then, Matty.
Ellie May for me.
Oh,
I think it's between her and Mount Ida. I think they're the two top ones in the race. I can't have Concertista. I don't like her. I didn't like her over hurdles. And I think she's worth taking on in this. They said she had a setback a few weeks ago, and then she schooled over hills and fences. They said she ran okay, and they were happy with her. But then the other week after Ellie May won, Mullins said that there's no mare at the level of Cole Reevy for Ellie May to bump into. It doesn't really fill you with confidence over Concertista, but on the flip side, you can probably take with what Willie Mullins says at times with a pinch of salt. But yeah, Ellie May for me, and I think it'll be her and Mount Ida that are battling it out. I don't think Concertista will be anywhere near them.
Great stuff. Ian.
see, I totally disagree with Matty. I think we've been disagreeing about this for ages. I like Concertista.
That's why I went next.
Yeah, I like Concertista. So she won on the 5th of December, beat Jeremy's Flame, who's come out and won twice since. She's won at Limerick on the 28th of December by 4 lengths. Okay, granted, a bit more workmanlike than impressive, if you want to say that. She did win the Mares' Novice in 2020 and then was beaten a short head last year by Black Tears. I think, I know we said about Mount Ida. I believe Mount Ida is the threat to Concertista, but I've wrote a little note here that she seems to jump right quite often. I know she won the Kim Muir, unbelievably won the Kim Muir last year, but as for Ellie May, so I've got here that she was beaten twice at Aintree. She didn't seem to come over. I think she was supposed to come over previously and it got called off, and perhaps that could be a factor. She was beaten at Fairhouse by Mount Ida, funny enough, this year. Beaten by Cole Reevy. I know we spoke about Cole Reevy went on then to then beat Monkfish, so they may have that sort of form now. But yeah, I'm going to stick back to Concertista on our page, so I'm going to stick with her.
Concertista for Ian. And Alex.
Well, I guess I've got the deciding vote, really, haven't I? Because Johnny's gone for Mount Ida, Matty's gone for Ellie May, and Ian's gone for Concertista.
I just love the grey.
I'm going to side with Mount Ida. I agree with Johnny's thinking. I think if she's anywhere near the other two coming up the hill, I think she's going to pass them. Davey will be getting stuck in. She stays further. So I don't really like Concertista. I think she's a bit weak at the finish, and I don't think Ellie May was very good last year. I know she's only beaten half a length, but I wasn't very impressed. So yeah, Mount Ida.
I think it'll be close between Ida and Ellie May because there was only half a length between them at Fairy House back in. When did they run? January, was it? Beginning of January, New Year's Day?
Yeah, but Mount Ida was giving away £3, wasn't she, as well? So
Yeah, she was, yeah.
Ah, yes, yeah.
she's £3 better off. And I think she would appreciate the hill finish at Cheltenham more than Ellie May would.
Fair enough.
Okay, like that.
I don't think we're going to have many. I don't think we're going to have many runners at all in the race.
You'd be lucky if you had about 6 or 7. Max.
Do we know if Gin on Lime's going for this?
I
I know it's entered. She's entered.
think it's her only entry, isn't it?
If she runs, I might have a little
It's
place
her only entry.
She was. She ran quite well when she she was quite lucky when she won a race in November at Cheltenham, beating my Drogo. That's one of the rides of the season by Rachel Blackmore on that. If you've not seen it, definitely have a look because I don't know how she got back up.
I thought she put her foot on. I thought she put her foot on the floor, but obviously the angle she never. Fair play to her.
If
like
she runs, I'll
you've
probably
got
have
Ruby
a place
Eddertel.
bet on her because I don't
You've
think
got Ruby
consistency
Eddertel go in the Arkle. You've got Put the Kettle On go in the Champion Chase. John said the Glancing Queen could potentially go to one of the handicaps.
I was going
That's going to
to.
be playing, isn't
I
it,
know I said
Glancing
it
Queen?
before, but is it? Put the Kettle On, definitely going Champion Chase, yeah? Definitely.
Yeah.
So, go for it, OJ.
Move on
Good.
from that race because there's not much
I've
more
just
to
killed
say.
that, haven't I?
I thought you dropped off there, lad.
I thought you'd fallen asleep.
No, only because in one of the early ones, I thought Put the Kettle On might skip the Champion Chase, knowing no chance there and coming here. But yeah.
But she's got every right to go and defend the crown. And if she doesn't do it, then they can separate next year, can't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll move on to the final race of the festival. The Martin Pipe Handicap Hurdle.
They always
Won
get
last
press
year
looking at
by
this race.
Galpin de Champs. And I can't even think. Alex, you're our guest. Can't remember who went last time. You're going to have to kick us off here.
Take it away.
He's obviously been very well found in the market, but I think Langadan wins. How the handicapper took £3 off following his run at Taunton, I've no idea. They said before the race it was just a prep race for Cheltenham. It sat at the back over a trip that was nowhere near far. Well, wasn't far enough really. We ran over 2 miles, going to be running over 2.5. He looked to be, what's the tactful way of saying it? Carrying some condition, probably is the way I'll word it as well. So I think he's going to come on from that loads. I mean, if Galopin Deschamps wasn't in that race last year, he'd have won by 9 lengths to Fleur, who is also a very good horse too. So yeah, I just think it's pretty much nailed on. He's going to win.
Great stuff. Love to hear that.
Disagree.
Love to hear that. That's well, we're going to have to go to Matty next.
I just think he's if my aunt had balls, she'd be my fucking uncle, wouldn't she? Nips and butts, you know what I mean? I just think I think Stateman comes here. I'm not backing Stateman, but I think this is where he'll end up. I quite like Chemical Energy. I think he's been put away. He's been targeted for this race. He's around 8-1, isn't he? He goes off 137, which is similar mark to Langadan. And the other one is one that Dave put us onto, Cheltenham, the Goffer. I think he's got a solid chance. And I thought I had a double. I did a request about a while ago. Grand Jury and Journey with Me both to win any race. Grand Jury is apparently going in the Martin Pipe now, which was confirmed today. And he's off a mark of 141. I get the angle on Langadan, I really do. He's just going to go off extremely short on the day, isn't he? Everyone on Twitter seems to be talking about him. He's the talking horse. If he hadn't run into Galopin Deschamps last year, I don't know how he's been dropped £3 for that run at Taunton. Really don't. It's fucking unbelievable.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
But I get I won't touch him at 4-1. If anyone's on at bigger prices, fair play to you. It's worth a gamble. And you're probably sitting quite happy. But at 4-1, he's worth taking on for me.
Okay.
And it will be with Chemical Energy and the Goffer as my main plays.
Okay, great stuff. Ian.
Right. So I too have backed Langadan. I got him at I was quite lucky got him at 16-1.
Oh, fair enough.
So he's got a mark of 137 in there, about 11-2 should scrape in. I think Skelton was a bit worried about whether he'd get in or not, but I think potentially had an entry at the weekend, but I can't see that happening myself. But yeah, just to echo how he's been dropped £3 in last year's race is unbelievable. Had a trot at Taunton, come stone last, but I think that was just to give a run into it. But I have found another gem for you.
Yes,
So,
we love it.
The last gem you said was a fucking.
There's a horse
Yeah.
called there's a horse that beats a lot of the trends. It's called Cobbler's Dream.
I like this one.
That's
Case.
his ad. Is that his ad, or?
Case. I've got
No, Ben
big
Case.
Case.
Okay.
Ben
Now,
Case.
So it fits a lot of the trends. Hopefully, we'll scrape in. It's got a mark of 136 and is 11-1. And I'm hoping. I think there's a claimer called Jack Andrews that's been riding, which should claim 5. That was third at Kempton in October, just over 2 miles, and since then, second at Wetherby in November at high distance, and then has gone on to win twice at Doncaster in December and Kempton. I think over 2 mile 4, 2 mile 5. And in a minute, I think there might be a higher price. It's about 12-1. So if Jack Andrews does claim 5 off 11-1, I think is a lovely weight, and will have a great shout. But Langadan to win for me, and maybe old Cobblers to come in for a place.
Like that, eh? Like that. Especially that kind of price from a lesser known stable. Got to be thinking, what would it be from a better known stable? Okay. Jonathan.
Yeah, I mean, my 2 have already been mentioned here. Like the lads have said, this Langadan thing, I mean, whoever the handicapper who assessed that run was probably the same bloke who does the VAR for all the decisions agained West Ham this season.
I reckon whoever's
Had to get that one in.
whoever's assessed him is on him nicely at about 16-1.
Yeah, he must have had his eyes closed, mustn't he? So yeah, I think he's got every chance, and if he puts up a run like last year, he'll more than likely win. The other one is the one that Matty's quite sweet on, Chemical Energy. He's been put away since his last run in November. He was rated 132. I think he's been put up 5. So I think he's a typical Elliott plot job in this. I quite like him. He's also got form 10 lengths behind my mate Mozzie. So if he runs well in the county, then, you know, the form might be franked by this one as well. So those 2 have been my main 2 plays. The other one I'd like to just mention is Jesse Evans. Now, that's also, I think that also ran in the Greatwood as well, didn't it, Alex?
Further down the county, isn't it, John?
Sorry.
Is that
Matthew in the county, isn't it?
It's in the pipe as well.
Yeah, it wasn't Greatwood.
Yeah, well,
9th.
There's another one, see, that might come out, and that's only been put at £2. So that could be an each-way play on the day as well. I mean, I've got to do a horse with Evans in the title, and maybe double it up with the Good Time Johnny.
Yeah,
the old Mugs double, Good Time Johnny and Jesse Evans.
Great stuff.
So yeah, one of those 2, Langadan or Chemical Energy, I've backed both. So as long as one wins, I'm happy.
Okay, so we're thinking Langadan is ridiculously handicapped, or the way it's been treated in a handicap. Could be too good to be true, potentially. Chemical Energy, fancied by Matty and John, potentially. Ian, Cobbler's Dream.
Hanger and old Cobblers.
Old Cobblers. Northampton Town, on it, the Cobblers.
Yeah.
And Alex thinks Langadan's ridiculously well handicapped. So, we happy with that, boys?
All good.
Okay.
Oh, good. So, we'll sweep it by asking for your final day naps. Ian, I don't know whether you want to put your hat on for this, but this is your moment.
Okay, hang on. Here we go.
Nap of the day. Ian,
Can't wait to see the comments
the
on
Rain
you
Man.
this one.
Napoli.
Santini each way, Gold Cup.
Thank you, sir. Alex Gillard, we can only thank you for being such a great guest.
Thanks for having me on.
The last day.
I think my nap for the last day will be West Cork.
West Cork. In the
County.
In the county, yes. Yeah, you were keen on that one. Batty, you look very far away. But if you can shout over your nap of the day for the last day of the festival.
Ellie May in the Mayor's Chase.
Ellie May in the Mayor's Chase for Matty. And Mr. Evans, our leading light.
Galvin to beat Santini by 40 lengths in the Gold Cup.
It was always going to be Galvin.
It was always going to be Galvin.
To be fair,
Galvin
to John,
Gold Cup. Yeah.
he's told us all to be on Galvin in the Gold Cup for about a year now at ridiculous prices. And whatever happens, I'm sure people are going to profit. So,
And a
great
box
stuff,
of beer, maybe.
Let's hope so.
Great stuff. Well, thank you all very much, lads. Alex, it's been absolutely wonderful having your insight.
Thanks for having me on. Really enjoyed it.
Not at all. It's been great.
One thing we are going to do
Yes.
is we're going to send something over to Ian, and he's going to put a little video together with everyone that's been on tonight, and that'll be with our each individual nap of the festival, next best of the festival, lively outsider, and our lay of the festival. So once we've all sent that over, he will try and get it up on the channel quick before the festival starts.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Hopefully by the weekend.
Once he's earned some brownie points with the wife.
Great stuff. It's been a good night, and yeah, bear with us, folks. Again, thank you very much for anybody who's supporting us. It's all a bit of a new venture.
Shite by this time.
It's a bit of a new venture, isn't it? But yeah, it's all good fun and very enjoyable. And yeah, the fact that we've had Gordon Elliott with us today is phenomenal, to be perfectly honest. Great stuff. Like, subscribe, share, all that shit. See you soon. Keep watching.